Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-7140, Containment Class Keter, Secondary Class Abaddon, Disruption Class Amida, and Risk Class Critical.
Does the black moon howl? It howls in remorse when the song it sings ends the world.
Special Containment Procedures. The SCP Foundation, United Nations Global Occult Coalition, Republic of India, Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal, and People's Republic of China have signed the Treaty of Everest to establish indefinite and reliable containment of SCP-7140. It stipulates the following initiatives to be carried out to address the object. Number 1. Every year from the 1st to the 8th of July, the Foundation is to work with all members of the treaty to entirely prohibit entry into the Himalayan mountains. A suitable cover story pertaining to the prevalence of deadly avalanches at that time is to be created and disseminated by the aforementioned parties. Number 2. An annually assembled Joint Task Force, JTF Theta Mendez 1740, 7th Spear, composed of at least 1,000 available troops sourced from combat-capable mobile task forces and at least 2,000 troops sourced from the Physics Division of the GOC, is to be stationed at the base of the Himalayas for the 192 hours during which the above protocol is active. During this time, all members of Group of Interest Alpha 19, Serpent's Hand, and Group of Interest 231, Children of the Scarlet King, detected by Theta Mendez 7140 within their area of occupation are to represent security breaches of the highest priority and be terminated on site. Description: SCP-7140 is a 7-day-long ritual performance of Russian composer Alexander Scriabin's Mysterium. Though a famously unfinished composition according to mainstream belief, the complete composition of SCP-7140 achieves its complete length by a repetitive application of compositional elements from the publicly known Mysterium piece, throughout them extensively integrating other artistic religions and ritual demonstrations that cannot be definitively located as belonging to any singular historical source. The Mysterium has been described as a synesthetic piece, able to induce a multi-sensory experience by use of music, and also inducing visual performances alongside thaumatological ritual elements. Scriabin's esoteric spiritual and philosophical view, similar to theosophy, is known to have influenced his compositions. A link between these esoteric beliefs and the ritual nature of SCP-7140 is exceedingly likely. Extensive thaumaturgic working and collusion with pluripotent or theological entities to aid in the process of SCP-7140's composition would likely have been necessary to achieve its degree of potency. SCP-7140's anomalous ability derives from human artistic and theological conceptual attribution within the noosphere, and is therefore reliant upon several concepts invented and imagined by humankind. As such, the finished Mysterium composition has been designated a dormant Blavatsky-class hypersigil of Type 9 eschatological severity by the research head for SCP-7140 with the approval of the chairs of Foundation Departments of Applied Esotericism, Psychology and Parapsychology, and Memetics and Counter-Memetics.
Notice from the Department of Temporal Anomalies. Much of the following information pertaining to the chronological events and effects of SCP-7140 originates from the doomed alternate universe, hereafter classified as AU-7140-UK, as per Statement 3.1 of the 1981 Multi-Foundation Coalition Agreement and Inter-Universal Concord that ensures all documents containing information relevant to an irreparable K-class scenario in any given alternate Foundation's universe be autonomously transmitted to all other Coalition members for cautionary and informative purposes. Secure the past, contain the present, protect the future.
To be properly executed, SCP-7140 is to be initiated and completed at the base of the Himalayan mountains, beginning on the 7th of July. The beginning of the performance produces an immensely powerful Class Delta telepathic signal contacting all sentient and non-sentient life on Earth and compelling them in what has been described as a spiritual or religious experience to make an immediate pilgrimage to the site at which SCP-7140 is being performed. Non-sapient life forms, including even those without rudimentary external awareness such as plants or fungi, assume an unknown elevated state of consciousness as to obtain sapience and be affected by SCP-7140's compulsion. Entities occupying any Earth-adjacent metaspatial dimensionality within a 5.4 Hume variance range of baseline reality are also compelled by SCP-7140 and will make all attempts possible to exit their current dimension and reach the site of SCP-7140 on Earth. During performing of the anomaly, SCP-7140 allegedly induces a distinct astrocorporealization in those who witness it. A common theory among the Foundation of AU-7140 UK being that the piece overstimulates every sensory mode of human perception to the point of forcing one's spirit out of the body through astral projection. Execution of the entire piece involves, among other elements, dances, a procession, the burning of incense, mass distribution of psychedelic substances, displays of multicolored light by use of a system of reflective prisms, and a variety of illusions. Of the performance itself, Scriabin wrote, "There will be not a single spectator. All will be participants. The work requires special people, special artists, and a completely new culture. The cast of performers includes an orchestra, a large mixed choir, an instrument with visual effects, dancers, a procession, incense, and rhythmic textual articulation. The cathedral in which it will take place will not be one single type of stone, but will continually change with the atmosphere and motion of the Mysterium. This will be done with the aid of mist and lights, which will modify the architectural contours. If SCP-7140 remains uninterrupted for the entirety of its execution, its impact upon local and existential reality will continually increase in severity, as documented by its SCP Foundation events in AU-7140 UK, caused by the continued performance of SCP-7140, progressed in the following order when it was performed. Note that this timeline pertains to the context of AU-7140 UK and would likely not transpire in an identical manner were SCP-7140 to be initiated in the prime timeline. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 10 minutes. Event: all conscious life forms on Earth and adjacent dimensions are simultaneously made aware of the existence and location of the SCP-7140 ritual within the unconscious mind. Despite cognitive difficulties and consciously associating this revelation with a literal event at first, affected entities unfailingly conclude that they must make a pilgrimage to the site of SCP-1740 within minutes of this effect's initial onset, almost certainly initiating a BK-class broken masquerade scenario. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, approximately 30 minutes. Event: Hume level of Earth and the surrounding area within a radius of approximately 0.67 light-years begins to steadily climb throughout the duration of SCP-7140, reaching a climax of around 500% in excess of normal levels. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 24 hours. Event: manifestations of extra-dimensional phenomena within baseline reality reach unprecedented length, frequency, and clarity. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 32 hours. Event: ambient Akiva radiation present on all Akiva-sensitive areas or holy sites on the planet rapidly increases to unnatural levels over the course of around 6 hours starting at this time, before abruptly shooting downwards to near zero for the duration of SCP-7140. Over the coming days, anomalous phenomena destroy several of these sites by apparent overwhelming force majeure. The noospheric and physical influence of theological memeplexes worshipped by humanity weakens continuously as this process continues. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 65 hours. Event: beginning at this time, numerous unprecedented geographical changes occur within a short amount of time, most of them occurring within 48 hours or less. The sudden rising of most of the Zealandian continental crust to above sea level at approximately 68 hours displaces an immense amount of water in the oceans, as does the sudden emergence of two large landmasses shortly thereafter, one in the mid-Pacific Ocean at around 75 hours and one in the Arctic Ocean near the North Pole at around 81 hours. Starting at this time, and until the conclusion of SCP-7140, several new islands emerge from under the sea. Some existing ones sink or are destroyed, and the position of several existing islands and continents is shifted. Overall, for the duration of these events, significant natural disasters including volcanic and tectonic activity, flooding, and tsunamis severely impact almost all islands and low-lying coastal areas on the planet. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 70 hours. Event: a remarkably destructive series of volcanic eruptions causes a blanket of ash to block sunlight from reaching the Earth. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 90 hours. Event: several operatives of Group of Interest 231, Children of the Scarlet King, vanish through unknown means. Anomalous spatial and/or metaspatial displacement is likely. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 120 hours. Event: through unknown means, SCP-140 achieves full chronological completion and breaches into the present moment. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 144 hours. Event: SCP-001 LILY is triggered, initiating an event known as the Final Day of Flowers. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 150 hours. Event: according to on-site artificial intelligence conscript records, an estimated 90% of contained sapient and sentient anomalies have breached containment in an attempt to reach the site of SCP-7140. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 157 hours. Event: the human noosphere and the regions of physical space-time to which it is associated, namely all human-inhabited regions on the planet, cease to exist individually, fully merging into a composite pocket dimension in which the gap between consciousness and matter is fully reconciled, and the cognitron can directly interact with physical particles before first undergoing psiogenesis. Time from initiation of SCP-7140, 168 hours. Event: the eschaton occurs in full, triggering a UK-class end-of-universe scenario. Addendum 7140-1. Discovery. The existence of SCP-7140 first came to the attention of the Foundation following the 1962 Alexandria incident, references to it being noted among the immense collection of esoteric scripture that was brought back to Reliquary Area 27 when the incident's aftermath necessitated the immediate evacuation of all SCP personnel out of the Wanderer's library. Among the recovered texts are several grimoires, written in the Old Davite language, which contain instructions on performing SCP-7140 and the consequences thereof. Said texts cannot be identified as originating from any definite point in time and possess multiple incongruent temporal signatures from greatly disparate eras, notably appearing to be at least 800 years old upon physical analysis, yet directly citing the Mysterium itself, supposedly left unfinished upon Scriabin's death in 1915, a clear anachronism. A common thread between most texts recovered from the 1962 Alexandria incident, particularly those which reference SCP-7140, is a frequent association of SCP-001 Tufto and associated divine entities with apocryphal, eschatological, infernal, and otherwise fringe Abrahamic symbolism, particularly those Abrahamic symbols with connections to the biblical revelation or end times. Many later occult texts with mentions of SCP-001 Tufto that are known to originate from the Wanderer's library, such as those obtained from the Global Occult Coalition following their raids on the Serpent's Hand, seem concurrent with the Alexandria incident texts in their portrayals of the Scarlet King and the symbols of its worship. This evidence seems to strongly suggest that the ways in which the library specifically portrays SCP-001 Tufto are somehow unique, and further implies an unknown connection between the Serpent's Hand and the Children of the Scarlet King. Following discovery by the Foundation, containment protocols within the Himalayan area were temporarily imposed while additional research could be conducted. Though this research proved relatively unfruitful, the dissemination of documents from AU-7140 UK in 1994 enlightened the Foundation to the truth of SCP-7140's existence and its true dangers. Shortly after, a treaty to establish intensified defense measures in the area was ratified. This agreement, the Treaty of Everest, remains in use to this day and has thus far proven effective in disarming any third-party attempts to initiate SCP-7140. Addendum 7140-2. Recovered documents. The following incomplete set of recovered texts, understood to be written by Scriabin himself, detail the precise mechanics of SCP-7140 and the circumstances of its creation with reasonable accuracy. The documents are written in a mix of Russian, Ancient Greek, Enochian, Atlantean, and Old Davite, and encoded by the use of a complex cryptomantic cipher that has yet to be fully cracked. Despite years of collaborative effort between the Foundation and the International Center for the Study of Unified Thaumatology on breaking this thaumaturgic cipher, the following transcription is not currently fully translated. Completely untranslated phrases will be expunged, and words or phrases with more unreliable translations will be marked with an asterisk for clarity.
2nd of November, 1903. Magic is a thing of innumerable swirling thoughts, dreams, and probabilities. But for all its cosmic impossibilities and inconsistencies, magic is also a thing of the fates. It is inevitable. It was a thing of the fates that compelled my soul to a new aim, a final and magnificent expression of rebirth, an exaltation of the immortal spirit's divinely inspired myriad arcane awarenesses and ecstasies. My final piece will be one of these, as they have inspired me. The secret doctrine teaches that throughout the entire duration of intelligent life in our world, a clear chronology of major civilizations can be drawn, each emerging after the previous, and each acting as a major event of change upon the world. In time immemorial, the instated themselves as the first such civilization. Eternus installed humanity as the sixth when building their first great city, and though they fell, humanity again proved their worth, re-emerging after extensive competition with the children of the night and stars jeopardized the legitimacy of our claim to the title of sixth great civilization. The seventh, extensively predicted but never identified, is forthcoming. The ancient masters lie this information out for us in its totality. Their wisdom is paragon and undeniable, and it is formed by their teachings that I believe the seventh realm of our world, as it is called, is imminent. I wish to welcome my own fate and the fate of the world, and to end our time in this realm with celebration, should mankind be predestined to cede our dominion over this world to a more advanced species. My next piece will be a recognition of humankind in the grand face of the infinite cosmos, to be played preceding its inevitable end. May 1905. The work I have done for my latest project is of truly arcane nature, and it has humbled me with a newfound majesty for the grand harmonic confluence of probabilities that make the realm of magic in which we exist possible. Our standing in the cosmos is but one level in an infinite structure of countless rising and falling planes of existence. Octave over octave over octave, the planes ascend further still. It is truly amazing. Yesterday, during hours spent reading at the Russian State Library in Moscow, a faceless, cloaked figure with 4 arms, 4 vaguely arachnoid legs, and all manner of arcane symbols painted upon its reptilian flesh, emerged suddenly from in between the bookshelves in a manner I can only describe as a hallucination. It approached me and placed my hands in a large green and gold leather-bound tome with the symbol of the World Tree cast upon its cover in brass. At first frightened, my demeanor quickly changed to utter astonishment when I realized that the tome was tangible to me, and the experience that I had been almost sure was illusory was indeed entirely real. The mysterious creature, surely some angel of wisdom to bestow me with the text and its vast knowledge, then promptly melded back into the surrounding environment and vanished. I have thought for many days about what occurred at that library, coming to only one conclusion. It appears that the universe has smiled upon my work and showed me its wisdom. What serendipity. The tome which I have obtained is itself extraordinary. It teaches me of far-flung civilizations across the universe, and of their customs and traditions. It teaches me the intricacies of ancient rites lost to time, everywhere else but in its very contents. It teaches me of the long-forgotten history of our own world, and of the varied ways in which the essential breath of life expresses itself and creates intelligence. Its teachings will surely be instrumental in designing the rites necessary for my peace. The 23rd of October, 1908. Years of work on my final project have thus far continued smoothly. All great wonders and horrors which I learn of throughout my continuous study will be integrated and invoked in the performance, and each spirit and deity recognized and thanked for its role in our realm's mortal experience. The tome bestowed upon me by in 1905 has since taught me the intricacies of the library, the realm of infinity knowledge from which it presumably originates. I have also since translated the true name of the text, the 6th tome of Apocryphal Visions, one of many texts within the library containing similar wisdom. I sometimes experience visions of the library. In its winding halls, I see creatures nearly identical to the angel which handed me the 6th tome. I have designed rituals to invoke the heavenly spheres for their blessing upon the coming age. In ritual, I have communed with each planet and star in the night sky, with each's logos, with each's peoples, though in all that the spiritual masters have taught me, one particular motif stands out. The realms say to me, it would seem, that great power comes from entities and domains on the furthest frontiers of existence, the voids between and beyond universes, or any other cosmic locale in which man has never set foot. The gods in these faraway places give the greatest rewards of power to those able to find them. When the end comes, I will accept the infinity of fate with open arms and make humankind's dissolution into the calm finality of ultimate annihilation as painless as possible. I will contact this mysterious force and use its power to compose the ultimate spell. July 1910. I have recently made contact with a mysterious and elusive entity which I believe to be the force which I have been attempting to locate. Its dominion, which it often shows to me in my dreams and visions, is a serene void positioned between the quantified realm of structured and ordered concepts and the infinity chaos of primordial unknowns. When I'm taken there, I can feel the minuscule interactions that one's body usually makes with surrounding air and dust give way to the numbness of an absolute vacuum. I have been led to the knowledge of this entity's existence by way of the library's tome, but it contains no further information concerning this matter. If I am the first to reach this strange realm, this point in my mission may be as far as the tome is able to take me. Entities which occupy the void realm are utterly foreign to my understanding, but do not appear to be hostile towards me. I have become more and more convinced that it is only with the aid of these beings that the rites and rituals I compose will have their power, for it is in balance that all magic is found. Will continue to attempt negotiation. For the good of all, I will unwaveringly continue in the development of my ultimate working. 9th of August, 1914. Faust once made a deal with the devil. In exchange for his immortal soul, Faust attained all worldly knowledge and ability which could possibly be imagined. Faust would become the most talented magician of his time, and the most talented alchemist of his time. And fortune would always look upon him favorably in the world of men, but none of this mattered. For in the kingdom of God, Faust was utterly corrupted. His soul always belonged truly to Lucifer. I too, unbeknownst to myself, have fallen victim to such a bargain. The Whispers, with whom I made a covenant to create my final work, are not who they claim to be, I've discovered, but indeed only servants of the Crimson Beast Kaharak, Lord of Darkness below, God of the Deva, a treacherous and brutal scourge existing only to devour and defile all things holy. His is a raging, spiraling, insatiable typhoon of primeval wrath, gluttony, dust, blood, and corruption. The king revealed his true nature to me only after he agreed to my terms for the use of the Void's power in my workings. He has defiled all that was once sacred and divine in my magnum opus, destroying years of work, years of dreams. He has defiled and perverted the magics of my intricate composition, transforming it into an aberrant tool of destruction. It appears that his influence has turned my work, once dedicated to easing the pain of a dying humanity, into the very thing that will destroy it. Despite all this tragedy, it is far too late for me to stop. Fate has already dealt her hand, that of annihilation, and as such, I am resolute in accepting it, regardless of the innumerable and ungodly terrors which the fruits of my pride may be doomed to inflict. It is fated that the work will be completed, and as such, I must complete it, regardless of the cost. Faust once stood at the gates of hell in infamy, all at one moment. The weight of his guilt crushed him.
Starting in early to mid-April 1915 until his death, Scriabin was rendered bedridden due to an infected sore. As his writing from this period is featured below, note that according to Scriabin's doctor, he exhibited signs of deliriousness during this time.
The 7th of April, 1915. Kaharak is a thing of immeasurable swirling tensions, impulses, and misfortunes. But for all his cosmic impossibilities and inconsistencies, Kaharak is also a thing of the fates. He is inevitable. Time and time again, the king makes himself visible in my dreams. At times of fear, delusion, and delirium, he brings with him in his wake all the infinite terrors in his damning void realm, and all cosmic cataclysms inflicted by his terrible legions of scourges and devourers. The realm of the 6th is fated to fall, and in its ashes, the realm of the 7th must rise. If this transition occurs only through him, there is no imaginable impossibility which may protect us from it. This too will be an act of the fates, and it is my duty to complete my work regardless of its cost. As the life fades from my own body, I feel more and more the impending onset of a new age of life everywhere on Earth. Just some 100-odd years from when I write. A promised land so within reach, and yet so far from realization. If the gods of fate and fortune shine their light upon us before the king butchers them whole, the end of the human race will not be met with apocalypse, but with a clean slate and a new beginning.
Scriabin would pass away 7 days later on 14th of April, 1915, in his Moscow apartment due to severe complications from the infected sore on his upper lip. Okay, I think that about does it for today. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye. I would like to give a special thank you to Big Sip, Zargaran, Oh Crap Guy, Kignack, The Morrigan, Rowan O'Brien, Braided Peach, Dean Dingus, Dr. Wolf 13, Cupster, Worthy Fire, Zazapan, Irish Wristwatch, Signar, Your Local Foundation Agent, Lost Boy, and James Saba. If you would like a special thank you at the end of each of my videos, and some other cool stuff as well, visit patreon.com/TheVolgun. Thank you.